Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will be presenting my English 2 projects with the title Software and Hardware. But before we get into the presentations, let me introduce myself first. My name is Yuki Saidi. I'm from 17 to A11, and let's get into the topics. So the main topics we will be discussing today, the first is software, the second there's a hardware, the last one is conclusions. Why do I choose these two topics? Because I think software and hardware are depending on each other. Software cannot operate without the hardware, and hardware doesn't have the benefit if we don't have any software. So what is a software? Software is something inside the computer that we couldn't touch. Like if we had a program like operating systems or applications or game, we cannot see it or touch it without the hardware. But we will discussing about it later because I will be presenting hardware in these slides too. In a simple way to explain, if we as a human think with our brain, computer are thinking with their software system. Software system is something that tells the computer what to do, just like the human brain. Because brain tell us what to do, like if we get hungry we need to go eat, if we feel dirty we need to go to the bathroom, just like the computer. If computer needs something, they will be thinking with their software systems. There is some type of software. First is the operating systems. It's the main component of the computer that most important because everything in the computer is working because the operating system. And then there's a device driver. Device driver is something that makes the computer could communicate with other driver like the keyboard and then the printer and a lot of things. The last one is utility program. Utility program includes antivirus and another program that could protect the computer. There are three main types of system software that control how computer operates. Operating system is one of the most essential part of the computer, like this I said, because operating system is like the brain of the computer. Without it, computer can't think and do a lot of things. Now, what is a hardware? If we already just talked about the software, now I will explain to you guys what is a hardware. Hardware is the part of a computer that you could physically touch and see. If I give the example right here, there's a computer, there's a monitor, there's a keyboard, and also the mouse. There's also some type of hardware, just like the software, hardware also have some types too. First, there's an input device, there's a microphone, there's camera, there's a keyboard, and also a mouse. Why did I choose this type of hardware? Because it's already include every input that we need. First, the image, the camera, and then the sounds, the microphone, and the data, the mouse, and the keyboard. Second, there's an output device. Output device is every single thing that explain the results to the users like us. There's a printer, monitor, and then the speaker. There's also a processing device like CPU and the motherboard, a storage device that will store every single data that we need that we want to store it. And the last one is networking device because we need to communicate with other computer and we also need to communicate with the World Wide Web. So there must be a networking device, even it's a modem, a router, or a local area network. So the conclusion is software and hardware are actually important. Software cannot run without the hardware, and hardware doesn't have the benefit if we don't have any software. That was all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.